All right, so I want to talk about my experience with women as users, women as players, if you will. Although I don't think really women aren't really players in the sense that men are players, even though they'd like to think that they are. Women are really just manipulators. Because I mean, you could say you could say a man is a manipulator, but really it's more like a man is just a player. Because men don't really manipulate women in the same sense that women manipulate men. Men manipulate women by, attracting them through social status, through good looks, yes, but mostly through social status and money and popularity, right? What are guys going after in life? They're going after fame, they're going after riches, they're going after social status. Why? Because that's what women want. Women want a man with social status, money, and fame. Good looking guys get laid, yes. A good looking guy will always get laid. But a guy who has money or social status will always supersede, ultimately, a good looking guy. Why? Because women want babies. Women are very baby centered. And it's in their biology to be protected or to be reared, if you will, by a man who has money. Why? Because the man who has money can provide and give security to her while she has a baby. This is often why women cheat, because they will end up marrying a guy for his money, for his social status, so that he will be a provider for her children. Because again, this is what women want. It's in their biology. It turns them on. Literally turns them on, because it's part of their biology. What are men turned on by? For some reason, we're turned on by attractive women, looks wise, and women hate this actually. They think, oh, guys only want to fuck me because I'm hot. And for some reason, that's just the way we are. It's the way we're wired. Why don't we want to fuck a woman who's loyal? Why don't we want to fuck a woman who, has a smart brain? Why don't we want to fuck? It's weird. And I think maybe it's base. It's maybe wrong. In an ethical, moral, sort of altruistic, egalitarian way, right? It would be better if we were attracted to women with good qualities, such as she's noble and she's honest and she's faithful and she's loyal and she's intelligent. That would be wonderful. Although I would have to say that I want to settle down with a woman who's like that. I want a woman who's loyal, caring, kind, a woman who has sort of righteous qualities, moral qualities. I want to settle down with that type of woman. But when it comes to the type of woman I want to fuck, I just want her to be hot. In fact, if she's dirty and slutty, it almost turns me on more to want to have sex with her in that way. But I wouldn't want to marry her. I wouldn't want her to be the mother of my children if she's a dirty slut. See how that works? So I think women get their wires crossed there, and they confuse men wanting to fuck them with men wanting to marry them, which is often the opposite. Often women don't want to marry and settle down with the slut because sluts have bad character. Men want women who have good character. Men want women, at least good men. A good quality man, a good quality woman is going to be, a woman, a woman who has value. And men, this is something that I often talk about in my videos, is that men should choose a woman where her value is in her honesty, her loyalty, the way she treats other people, those types of qualities, right? But The 80-20 rule. 80% of the women sleep with the top 20% of the men because of gynocentrism and because of these great imbalances. Often men just have to take what they can get. So oftentimes we get used. And I admit that happened to me. It happened to me in my last relationship, which was really just a hookup. It was a fuck thing. And it turned into something different because I sort of broke one of my own rules, which is that, I sort of developed the rule as I dated her, which was don't spend too much time with your fuck buddy. Don't spend too much time with her, because if you do, one of you is going to get attached, and usually it's the guy, because it's very easy for women to find other men, whereas a guy, it's hard for us to find women. It's very much easier for a woman to find guys than it is for a man to find girls because of supply and demand, right? Women know that the pussy is what men want, and so they don't give it up easily because it's their bartering tool to get a good man, right? It's just common sense. Women use sex to get resources. I mean, one can make a very wonderful argument that marriage is the oldest form of pimping. A woman is selling her sex for a man's resources. Why do parents always tell their daughter to grow up and marry a rich man, marry a doctor? Why? Because it's security. He's going to take care of her. And I don't even think the parents need to tell the daughter that, because I think it's in her biology. So what did I learn from dating a user? Well, I learned that just because a girl spends time with you, it doesn't mean she's not spending time with other girls or other guys or other girls for that matter. Just because a girl spends time with you, she sleeps with you in the sense that she actually sleeps in your bed, you hold her at night. Just because you date a girl does not mean that she loves you. It doesn't mean that she is yours. In fact, it doesn't mean that, she wants to be with you ultimately. Women are wonderful liars. So I spent a year with a girl. Well, ultimately I knew her for 4 years, but I really spent 1 year with her intimately. We had talks, we would smoke weed, we would have sex, and then she would stay over, and then it was over. And when it was over, it was really over, and I got to know this person intimately. We became pretty much best friends, you could say. And then I've sort of loved her on that basis, that we were so comfortable together, we were so familiar with each other. And then I felt, hey, maybe this is what a real relationship is like. This is what real love is like, is that you're comfortable with this person's kind of your best friend, until you realize that, well, that's just you. She's actually seeing other guys. She's actually sleeping with other guys. And although she likes you and you're fun and you're funny, she's not in love with you because she's got a whole other side to her that she's not showing you. And this is what women do. This is how they manipulate. So they're not players, they're manipulators. They're just liars. They keep things on the down low. They keep things low key. And that's just the way it is. So you never can trust. You never can trust, and you never know fully. Men who have been married for years have been getting cheated on, and they don't even know it. So it's like, why even do it? It's so easy for them. All they got to do is go outside, and every guy's hitting on them, right? It's just so easy. So why even get married? There's no point. Particularly when you think you know someone, when you start to trust someone. So I learned that you can't trust. You can't trust a woman because it's too easy. Women take confidence in the fact that it's hard for men to get laid. They like that. They like to know what we're doing at all times. They like that control. They want to control us, whereas they have no accountability, which is fundamentally dishonest. But this is how women are. So you just have to look at it and say, well, That's fucked up. I mean, generations of, you know, shit, quote unquote, chivalry, right? People are saying, oh, chivalry is dead. Chivalry is dead. Good. Good. Because if you really want equality, chivalry, in essence, is sexist. It's sexist. Oh, let's take care of the women. Let's take care of the women. Why? Are they the weaker sex? Is that why we should take care of them? That's sexist. Right? If you really want equality, then women should have the same checks and balances in society that men do. Women should live up to the same standards that men have. If you really want equality, I'm all for equality. What I'm not for is the lies. What I'm not for is the faking and saying, yes, we want equality, but we also want the special privileges. We want equality, but we also want all those benefits that come from being a female, such as affirmative action and doors being opened for us and drinks being bought for us and dates paid for us and men chasing us, right? You love all those, don't you, women? You love all those perks. But then you want equality. So you're hypocrites. You're fundamentally hypocrites. And I would argue that most women don't have the mental faculty to understand that. I think most women don't have the mental faculty to, be esoteric about the whole situation, or abstractly understanding the scenario from an overview. Okay. You like the benefits and your ego is such that you delude yourself, or you maybe don't even have the intellect and the ability to understand that you're living a double standard. You're literally living a double standard when you claim that you're victimized, but yet you also want equality, yet at the very same time you also have all these perks that you just somehow don't ever think about, and you somehow believe that it's assumed upon you that you should have these perks because deep down, secretly in your core, in your essence, you believe that you're better than men. That's just 100% ego. That's 100% hypocrisy. That's 100% exposes the fact that you're actually the weaker sex. Because men, we have checks and balances. We even have ingrained checks and balances, meaning we actually monitor our own selves. We monitor our own souls to the point that we dig deep in thought. We dig deep in thought. Am I right? Am I being an asshole? Am I this? Am I that? Men do that. The irony is the men who are the most chauvinistic, the men who are the most egotistical are actually the most attractive to women because they're stupid. They're often stupid. Someone who's really good looking, if you ever meet one of these guys and they're just dumb and and you actually talk to them, they're actually just full of ego. And that's actually attractive to women. Because a lot of times, guys, because we have such checks and balances with our with our brothers and our fathers and our friends and our coaches and our peers at work and our competition at work and things like that, we often go through so much scrutiny that we have to internalize things, that we have to have introspection, lots of introspection. And what happens when you introspect? Oftentimes when you are introspective, you become sort of sensitive. You become smarter in a sense, but also you become weaker in another sense. Ignorance is bliss, man. If you're not introspective, you're often kind of dumb. If you're not introspective, because you don't go into your inner core and think about why you do certain things, and you don't think about why you behave in certain ways. When you do that, you sort of break yourself down to rebuild yourself, and you can become stronger through introspection, through years and years of how do I improve and how do I, make myself better? How do I become stronger? This, that, and the third. But if you don't do that, oftentimes you're just arrogant. And you're blunt, and you don't even know you're a jerk, and you don't even realize that you're not very smart. You don't even realize that you're really not that funny, or you're really not that cool, but you're arrogance pulls you through, right? Your inability to see yourself outside of yourself actually makes you more attractive because you're not self-aware. Someone said, with much knowledge comes much pain. When you become more self-aware, yes, you grow. Yes, you become more intelligent. Yes, you're able to accumulate a lot of wisdom and maybe even a lot of knowledge, which can make you very powerful in some ways, can make you smarter, etc. But it also gives you a lot of pain because you start to feel how you really are. You start to feel the pain of rejection. You start to feel the pain of life and going through, digging your soul so you can improve and things like that. Someone who doesn't do that often has a false sense of security, often has a false sense of his own self. I'm good. Like, denial is wonderful. Denial is great because you don't have to go into those areas of your soul and introspect. You don't have to go into those areas of your being to improve them. If you're just dumb, if you're just you don't seek character improvement, you don't seek self-improvement, etc., you're often kind of confident too. Why is it like criminal? Well, you're a dumb criminal. Why are criminals dumb? Because they do stupid stuff. But guess what? Women love criminals. Bad boys, women love bad boys. Why? Because often those types of guys are not very self-aware. They're not introspective, which means it's kind of attractive to them. Because when you're not aware of yourself, when you're just living in the moment, you come across as confident. You come across as self-assured. It's better to be self-assured than self-aware when it comes to women. Anybody who knows anything about pickup or talking to girls or meeting girls on dates knows this. The more you become self-aware, the more introspective you become, the less attractive you are to her. If you're not aware of yourself, if you're just living in the moment and you're just, going through the date in the sense that you're just enjoying the moment and you're not self-aware, you're going to have a much better date because you're going to come across as confident. You're going to come across as, not very deep or not very, I wouldn't say not very deep, but not very, you're very casual, and that's nice. That's because girls like that. But if you're deep and you're emotional and you're, you know what I mean? You go into those emotions and you introspect so that you can figure yourself out and you can sort of master yourself. There's a lot of pain that comes with that. There's a lot of pain that's associated with that because you realize, oh man, I'm really kind of weak when you start to actually go in there. And guys who just live on the surface are often more attractive. But this is why women complain. He's just so stupid. He's just, and they hate it. So they love what they hate, or they hate what they love, right? They're the ones who choose the guys, yet they're constantly complaining about them. Well, he never shows affection to me. He's not this, he's not that. Because he's not very bright. Because he's self-absorbed, because he didn't do any introspection. He didn't try to advance his mind. He didn't try to work on himself. But yet that's what you chose and that's what you were attracted to. So, very interesting. Very interesting, the types of choices women make, but they're hypocrites. So my argument there is that, women are attracted to that. Why? Because it's a reflection of them. If they were deep, if they were smart and self-aware and intellectual, they would realize that their own hypocrisy. They would realize that they have special favors and special treatment and special perks being a woman. And at the same time, they claim that they're victims. At the same time, they claim that they want equality, yet they expect men to treat them a certain way. So it's just, the whole thing is just a big mess. It's a big hypocritical, fake mess, and it's a lie. So you learn that when you go through a bad relationship. That's all I got to say for now. Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast.